My turn.
Yeah.
I have a bone to pick.
Uh-oh.
With the DuPage County Animal Control. All right. In 1989, I was 6 years old. Probably. I was Ghostbusters 2, obviously, right in there for summer of 1989. Did I see it before? Did this event happen before or after 1989? I do not know. But I want you to know, this struck me today. What topic am I going to do? When I went back into the room, I pulled up a piece of paper and I started making flowcharts, letting my mind wander into the distance about what I wanted to talk about. I have visual proof for Colin to say that there was a flowchart. I could have brought the flowchart in, but that is not what happened. Colin, I would like you to verify that in fact that is a flowchart. Sure, I'll send it to you.
You had a flowchart?
I did.
What the fuck?
On what I wanted to talk. And I cleared my mind and began putting down the bubbles and going around, your brainstorming chart, drawing things off of each other. And eventually we went down the path there. You're seeing on screen thanks to Kevin. And it was April, because that's the month, right? April led to my birthday, of course. April led to spring showers,
All familiar.
April showers bring spring flowers, which led to
flowers.
Thank you. Which led to rain, which led to thunderstorms, which went to Grandma Miller and the sickly raccoon. Now this is 1989. It is a hot and sticky summer in Chicagoland, as they say. I'm in unincorporated Glen Ellen, which is where I was raised. What this means is fancy pants Glen Ellen's downtown. They have sidewalks and everything. Out by us, no sidewalks. Unincorporated Glen Ellen.
That's the definition of fancy.
Yeah.
Sidewalks. Got it.
Just so you know what's happening here.
It's all going down.
Yeah.
Big Jamie Kennedy, Big
old
Greg
Jamie.
Miller, they go to work every day. They're out there doing their thing, doing whatever the hell they do at this time. Dad's still heavy equipment operator. Mom, probably working at BFI, the garbage people. She was an administrator there. This meant that Grandma Miller picked up the slack. Grandma Miller lived down we live on the block. She's down here. You go straight, you take a right, dead end, take another left. There it is. You're right there. That's the house right there. Grandma Miller's house there. Huge backyard. We'll talk about that in a second. Doesn't matter for this part of the story, though. Staying in Grandma Miller's house every fucking day of summer, hanging out. Sometimes we go downtown Glen Ellen and see these fancy people with their sidewalks. But we'd go down there and see what's up. Go to Portillo's once or twice.
God damn it. It's Saturday. What is the show? Oh, Lord.
So, hanging out in this house all the time. Doing grandma and grandson stuff. Like I said, Portillo's, downtown, fancy people, whatever. But mostly it was also, open the door, go out there and play with these kids. The kids in the neighborhood, of course. I'm like a block away. I know this neighborhood. I know these people. We'd run around. Most of the people in my neighborhood, total dick kids, just jerks. But I had a few friends. One time, there's another Grandma Miller story. I had forced to hang out.
Oh my God, you're like the John Steinbeck of fucking podcasting. Just get to the fucking point.
I'm hanging out across the street with these other kids. They were douchebags, but they were twins. And they found a toad, and they hit the toad with the wiffle ball bat. And I said, I'm going home. I'm not going to be a part of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, we're hanging out, partying here on Unincorporated Glen Ellen.
Partying, you and your grandma.
No, I mean the kids now. We're in front. We're in front of the house. Crucial to the story. Deep ditches. Deep ditches in unincorporated Glen Ellen. I want you to know that, all right? Because there's no sidewalks. So you got the road and then these big old ditches and then yards or whatever, right? Sorry, Colin. They weren't trenches. We weren't in trench warfare.
How? This has been going on for 4.5 minutes already.
So I'm out there. We're playing with these kids, man. We're just having a good time. We're out on the street. Cars come through. We might have been playing street hockey, but on foot. I forget. It doesn't matter what we were doing. We're out there having a good old time.
Please tell me about the street hockey.
What was the score of the
All right,
game?
fine. You want to jump up further ahead? We moved a block over. It's the same area or whatever. I got big into the rollerblade hockey then, man. I'll tell you what. And that's a different story. So we're out there. We're all playing in front of this house.
That's a different story.
And I'll tell you what, Tim.
Yeah.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. I look over at this deep ditch, and what do I see crawling out of it? This fucking raccoon.
So when you were a kid, you saw a dying raccoon crawl out of a ditch.
Here's the topic we're going with today.
And he comes out, and he's walking all...
Summarizing it for everyone.
He's walking all drunk. I can use Portillo. Everybody imagine Portillo's a raccoon. He's coming up, and he's all wobbly, and he's walking over, and he's falling over, and he's doing... And it's like, I've seen To Kill a Mockingbird, sir. Something's wrong with this raccoon. It needs to be put down. But lo and behold, only grown up on the block, Grandma Miller. This 85, 88-year-old woman, I don't know. I can't do that kind of math, but this raccoon is slowly coming towards us and all the other children.
Slowly coming
Very slowly.
Was it menacing?
I mean, it's first off, raccoons aren't supposed to be out in the daytime. Number one tip that something's wrong. Everybody at home,
as a 6-year-old, you knew this.
Start a chart. Raccoon in the daytime, bad news.
Kevin, get the
Stumbling
whiteboard.
around drunk, double bad news.
Okay.
So this raccoon stumbles out. Now, is it menacing? It's menacing on this shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be walking towards us. It shouldn't look drunk.
Okay.
And the problem, of course, is, we've all seen horror movies. It looks fucked up. I mean, it looked like Mike Tyson just gave it one. You know what I mean? And now it's just like, is it gonna fall over or what's it gonna? It's just coming out of. But at any moment, that motherfucker could just be like, just right at you. You know what I mean? And there's all these kids, and so like I don't know what you want. You know what I mean? So we rap on the door, Grandma Miller. There's a raccoon out here, man. This thing's coming down very slowly out of this ditch, because it's crawled into the road at this point.
Wait, so you had time to go to a house,
very slowly,
get to the door.
Yeah, we're right in front of Grandma Miller's house.
So why didn't you just go in? Hide from the fucking thing.
Because I don't like these other kids. I'm not inviting them all. They can go to their houses. But even if we did, understand, this is very much... See, I don't like this about you. This concerns me about when the zombies come. This is...
Wait, you went and knocked on your grandma's door?
Yeah.
Instead of just walking in and telling her?
Well, I mean, like, she was right there. It was like, get her attention. Get her attention. I don't want to...
I just want to understand the relationship you have with your grandma.
Keep in mind right now, I don't want to take my eyes off this raccoon.
Okay.
Because either I don't want to come in at me, most importantly, but if it's going to attack another kid, I want to see it. You understand? So
Now it's all making sense. Okay.
But we go up there.
Can't hit the frogs with the wiffle bats, but the raccoon can attack your friends.
Back to my point that I was making, you distracted me. Back to my point with you. The problem being is the fact that this is our neighborhood. All right?
So this motherfucker's in your turf?
You don't get to walk in here and start shit and be a rabid raccoon and have us, we got to take you, we're going to deal with this problem. We're not the type, in unincorporated Glen Ellen, we weren't the type to run from a problem, all right? Maybe your hoity-toity sidewalk people in downtown Glen Ellen would run from the problem. You know what I mean?
Their shoes, those stupid shoes they wear.
Oh my God, and their monocles and hats.
They have
God damn it.
coats when the winter comes.
Grant Miller's a rabid raccoon out here. She comes out, she looks at it, that doesn't look right. That raccoon shouldn't be there or whatever. So she does the normal thing. Calls DuPage County Animal Control. There's a fucked up raccoon in the neighborhood. There are children out here with the little buckets and little plastic shovels kids have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are children here. Send help. And I shit you not, Tim, if I'm lying, I'm dying. The fucking DuPage County Animal Control circa 1989 says to Grandma Miller, an 88-year-old woman, we can't come. Put a box over it. Put a box over this rabid raccoon that something is clear. Like this thing could... It's like I'm worried about it attacking the dumb kids. Yeah. But attacking Grandma? Grandma can't juke. Grandma can't jive if this thing comes at her, right? Now, the problem, of course, is that I'm not the full-blown Greg Miller I am right now. I am not a man. I am a boy. I have maybe seen Ghostbusters 2, or I'm preparing to see Ghostbusters 2. I'm 6 years old, right? So she won't entrust me with the box. Not to mention I'm scared. I don't want the box. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
You don't want that responsibility.
No, I don't, because that is, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to put the box in and go, Gah, and the raccoon's going to go, ah. Right. You know what I mean? I can't deal with that kind of pressure. I'm just a dummy little kid.
Not to mention the fact that a box probably couldn't contain a raccoon if the raccoon wanted to get out of the box.
Well, again, this one looked sickly. Right. It looked like something was wrong.
But our preconceived notion of it is that it might be, when cornered, have that last gusto of energy that might go right into your face.
Right. I don't think, it stumbled into town here for the showdown.
Right.
It is continuing to advance.
Right.
Down
Main Street.
River Valley Road, maybe? That sound right?
Remember, we're dealing with the day drunk raccoon now. She's coming straight from brunch. Went a little too hard with the mimosas.
It's amazing.
So it's out there. And Grandma Miller, of course, Grandma Miller, a seasoned lady, not young
from
one,
the Depression
an
era.
old lady. She's an old lady. She's seasoned though. She's seen some shit. She was a principal at a school. She knows about fuck ups and what they're gonna do when they get into the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So she gets a box, she gets a broom, and she goes out there. And Tim, if I'm lying, I'm dying.
Say that again. I'm losing my mind. I've never heard you say that in my life.
She walks up, drops the box on the raccoon, gets a rock. Puts that out of the box. box.
That's smart.
No need for the broom. Raccoon contained. About 4 hours later, 4 hours later, DuPage County Animal Control shows up, and they fucking, I don't even know, they scoop it up, but then, the problems, my problem is, why couldn't they have come quicker? This seemed like something where we needed an adult quicker. Then poor Grandma Miller with a broom in a box.
She handled the shit,
It could have gone
she
wrong.
Had a rock ready.
Well, no, it wasn't. I think the box down, and then the box shimmies a bit, and then she's like, walks over the ditch and gets a rock. Deep ditches, remember?
Got it. Yeah.
She didn't have like a rock in her back pocket or anything.
Holy shit.
Grandma Miller, I don't think she was,
So what is
Grandma
the
Miller
topic?
weighed like 98 pounds.
I think it's just the story.
Is it just the story? I didn't realize that we were allowed to just tell stories.
Oh, you can do whatever you want.
Oh.
Now, let me tell you about the backyard of Grandma Miller. I said that was a story for another time. That time is now. This was a big backyard. Now, what I'd love to know, Tim. What I'd love to know, Tim.
Yeah.
How big is this backyard?
I'm assuming, we're talking in unincorporated Glen Ellen, so.
What I want to know is, because for me, as a kid, huge. Because it backed right up to the power lines. You know what I mean? Like it just backed.
So you grew up under power lines.
I hung out by some power lines a lot, yeah. But it just backed up to like the wooded area. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I remember it was a riding lawnmower when you wanted to mow back there. This is also something I didn't think about till I started thinking about the raccoon story today. And we'll need to talk to Big Greg Miller, my dad.
Okay.
I remember there being Grandma Miller's house in the front and then a smaller house in the back. And I remember at some point they knocked that down, but the foundation was still there. But I vaguely remember this other house. If Grandma Miller or anybody who knows is watching, I'd like to know the story of that other house because I don't know anything about it. But it seemed huge. Huge.
Okay.
It just went on forever and ever and ever and ever. But the problem, Tim, is that if you know out there where my Superman stuff is, in my games, around that bookcase, I remember being a kid, and that was at Grandma Miller's bookcase, right? And I remember loving that bookcase. And that bookcase was something special, I could tell. You know what I mean? I think Grandma Miller talked about it every so often as well. That, this was like made by some prison inmates. There was some story behind it. Of these, like, maybe it was Dutch people, maybe it was prison inmates.
One or the other. Okay. Yeah.
You're losing Nick.
They're kind of one and the same.
Are you out of breath? Are you out of breath right now, by the way?
Oh my God, I can't breathe. You kidding me? But I remember this lovely wooden bookcase out there,
Yeah.
fine cherry wood, I'll say. I don't know, oak maybe, who the hell cares? But I remember when Grandma Miller passed away, that Dad said, is there anything you
The
want?
same Grandma Miller that you thought might be watching a second ago.
No, I know she's dead. I said anybody with Grandma Miller information. It's like unsolved mysteries. If anybody knows.
Robert Stack.
Rolling over in his grave.
They're also dead.
Yeah.
If you
Also
have
dead.
information about the house that used to be in Mildred Miller's backyard, please leave a comment below.
Mildred Miller.
Yeah.
That's such a grandma name.
Put a pin in that one as well, please. Do this. Put it up. Thank you. You hold on to that pin for a second. Beautiful bookcase. Dutch craftsmanship or prison craftsmanship. Somebody who made things with their hands. You know what I'm saying? Loved it. Grandma Miller dies. Dad says, "What do you want?" I said, "I want the bookcase." You know what I mean? And I'll never forget when he gave it to me. I was down in Columbia or whatever. Gives it to me, and literally, you've seen it. You can just pick it up like this.
Yeah.
And I remember this bookcase going on for miles. I remember playing, the Army Men and stuff, Lincoln Logs, because, Grandma, she had a bunch of toys at the house that just sucked. That, like I don't know.
Toys.
Exactly. All this old shit that, I don't know, maybe it was
Toys from
Uncle
the
Jerome's,
1930s.
maybe, it was
here's
whatever.
A wooden block.
Exactly.
Have fun with this kid.
Die-cast metal.
Remember going on forever and ever and,
And
ever.
as it turned out, Grandma Miller lived in an apartment complex.
Exactly. If the bookcase
In the studio
was so
apartment.
small, Tim, how big could the backyard have been?
Small. I remember my grandmother's yard being huge growing up.
Yeah.
And having all sorts of weird plants and trees, like a pomegranate plant, you know?
Yep.
Or I think she had a fig tree, and I was
Grapefruit
like, this is weird.
tree?
Yeah. They always had grapefruit trees. And they were always offering you grapefruits.
Were they
And when you're a
really?
kid, if there's one thing you know for sure that you don't like, it is the grapefruit.
When you're an adult.
You love
Because
getting grapefruited.
you see it and you're like, that's a giant orange. It's the thing I like, but it's bigger. And then you taste it and it tastes like rancid shit. Very sour, rancid shit.
Yeah, grapefruit sucks.
But then I went back to my grandmother's house, not like, there was a gap when I moved kind of away, went to college, didn't really visit that much. And my grandmother passed away, and then my aunt moved into her house. I didn't really have an occasion to go there anymore. They had always come to my parents' house for And I remember there was like a 5 or 6 year gap that went by, and I finally went back and I'm like, this place got smaller. It shrank.
Right.
It's tiny. Like there was a basketball hoop that I remember playing at, and I walked over to it, and it was like, it used to be 20 feet in the fucking air. I swear to God. And now it's like eye level. And it was not, to me, it was one of those gigantic, like real size basketball hoops with like the real backboard. And then in reality, it was like a Nerf one that you put above the door. And I'm like, how much more massive could I possibly have gotten? Massive.
Yeah, you got real massive.
That was the same with my grandma Ronali's house, my mom's mom.
What was her name?
Her name was Adina.
What was your other grandma's name?
I had 3 grandmothers actually, because my mother was adopted. She was adopted and brought over. So my grandmother in Italy is Paola. She was adopted. My mother was actually adopted by her aunt. So my grandmother that I always grew up with was actually my great aunt, and her name was Adina Ronali. And then it was Mary Scarpino was my dad's mom.
Okay.
And Mary Scarpino she was no joke.
What grandma names?
Mary Ann.
Mary Ann. There's Mary Ann. And then there was another.
Mary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Betty. And I think my dad, I never met my dad's mom. I think her name, she died when he was young.
Yeah.
I think her name was like Elizabeth or something like that.
Yeah, see. Mildred and Mildred on my side.
Both.
Different people. But I mean, like, that is a grandma name that
That's such a grandma
and I
name.
would love to talk to people stupid enough to have kids just about like when they all came to the conclusion. They had like a meeting of like prospective parents. They're like, what names are we putting in the rafters?
See,
and they're
I
like
feel like-
Mildred, Esther, put this shit.
the name of
Somebody's like Helen and got halfway up. They're like, no, we can get
Mildred.
something out of Helen. Bring Helen back down.
I feel like it's the same as how it always is, right? Like, who was I talking to lately about names? For I think
It was probably on this show.
no, it was Eric, because he would not tell me the name of who he's going to marry. Excuse me, what he's going to name his kid, because they're not sharing it yet. And we were talking about names, and he was like, "No, the reason why these names go in these big cycles is because some event made that name popular at the time."
Like Khaleesi.
Yes. So what the fuck made Mildred popular back in like 1905?
I'm sure it was like whatever bullshit. Was
Millard
playing, like
Fillmore.
Mary Tyler Moore.
And they tried to
Mary
make it into
Tyler
a
Moore,
female
not
name.
even remotely.
That was 1970.
I was setting Nick up for that.
Okay, sorry.
Fine. But that's my question is like, how do people get to these names?
I hear you.
Like, there's all sorts of crazy names out there. I don't want to name them because I don't want to insult people.
Sure.
Insult people.
Yeah, I always feel
Yeah.
bad because I'm like, oh, there's always in the back of my brain. There's always a name that's synonymous with douchebag.
Yeah.
So I'll say that name, and then one person in the comments is like, "Fuck you, Scarpino."
Hey, it's me,
Freaking,
Chad.
I've been named that since birth.
Gio was talking to me at some point. She's always talking about kids and shit. And she was just like, if like we're not naming our kid after any video game bullshit. Like that's her stance on that.
Mario.
I'm like, all right, whatever. And then she was like, randomly, she's like, what if the name Dixie? I'm like, first off, fuck you. Second off, that's some video game bullshit. I am not naming my kid after Dixie Kong.
Name your kid Raichu.
I will give you this
Yeah,
name, and
right
you can
to-
use it.
Go for it, Nick.
Crash.
Oh.
Crash Gettys. Is a
Crash is
badass
kind of a
name.
cool name.
Crash is
That's
a
kind
badass
of
name.
dope.
Ask her what the Patreon goal has to be to get your
To name our kid?
to name the first child of
Yeah.
Tim and Gia.
I have,
don't know
I have
how
a couple
happy
names
she'd be
picked
with
out, but
that,
I'm not going to share them.
Not gonna share 'em?
No,
Bubble
they're good. They're
Man.
good ones.
Bubble Man.
Magnet Man.
Not Magnet Man.
Maggie.
Wiley.
Short.
Wiley, no.
Wiley's a
Good
cool
one,
name.
actually.
Wiley
Good one.
Moriarty is a
Wiley's
badass
kinda
name.
sick.
Wiley's like either a guy that was a professional like kite surfer, or just someone who played a lot of ultimate frisbee in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like wore headbands and was like, I'm gonna smoke everything on this table right now and play some fucking ultimate frisbee. And it's
So
gonna be
raccoons are
amazing.
weird as fuck.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
for sure.
Did they kill the raccoon?
I showed you that bald
I
raccoon
assume. What do you
today.
think they did to the raccoon?
Nursed it back
nurtured
to
it.
health.
No,
and put
nobody
it back
does
in-
that to fucking rabid.
Did they
scary
just take the
raccoons.
rock? Like you're on the other side of the box, they take the rock off and they open the box and they just start fucking smashing its head in. And you're like,
The
oh!
kids come by with them with full bats and
kids
start
are like,
They
Come on,
pick it up
kids.
and there's a giant hole where the raccoon dug through the road.
Oh,
It's just
shit.
gone.
And it's like they follow the hole and they start whispering into it, and in the middle of Grandma Miller's house, it just starts like the fucking thing found its way back to the woman that tried to
My
kill it.
God.
Oh, man.
We've
They
talked
fell
about
in
this on the
love.
show way too many times, so I'm not getting into it. But the amount of hours and on different days that I've went to Kevin's house and we've watched just videos of raccoons, it's upsetting, man. Those motherfuckers.
They're cool.
And it's like,
They're
we
smart.
convinced Kevin's girlfriend Paula to watch because that does not sound like something up her alley.
Yeah.
But then she'll sit there and she's like, we'll stop. And she's like, no, I want more. Raccoons are the fucking best, man. Except for your
They're
chunk
ingenious.
raccoon friend. But they're crazy.
Yeah, they are. I once saw a raccoon trying to kill a squirrel, a bunch of baby squirrels. Yeah, but we saved one of them. Mom did. I didn't have much to do with it. You know how your parents
Your
are. They don't
family
like-
has like a long.
You're interfering with nature.
Oh, well, yeah, so a long time. No, we're just animal people. Unincorporated Glen Ellen is like the wilds of like, you know, I'm not kidding. Like we lived on like an acre. There was a lot of land, a lot of things out there. My favorite story of unincorporated Glen Ellen and animals that I just thought of. Well, actually, I thought of an even better one. I got so many good animals in unincorporated Glen Ellen story. Let's first off talk about baby skunks and my next door neighbor Johnny. And I don't mean young Johnny who was in high
what's your
school.
topic?
We went. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Is that something your dad says? Because I feel like it's something your dad definitely
I
says.
started telling old unincorporated Glen Ellen story. I'm a dumb kid.
Yeah.
We go to some fucking flea market, the sandwich fair. I don't know, whatever the hell it is. Sandwich, Illinois, not like a fair based
the
on
fuck's
sandwiches.
That's
The
good.
Steam show.
All this is going in
Does
the
everyone
animated
know the
series.
Steam show? My parents took me so many dumb events. But wherever we are, we're at one of these things. Once at the Steam show, Colin, I ate too much cherry pie and I threw up.
Now Nick's just on his phone.
I'm writing all this down. I want the sandwich fair to be a thing in the animated show.
One of these stupid fairs with a dumb flea market or whatever. We went there and we bought one of those claws. You know what I mean? It's about yay long, black stick, handle you pull on the other side. Thing goes like this.
Yeah.
Johnny comes over from next door, raps on the door, and again, not young Johnny, old Johnny, who owns the house. And he's like, he's an older man too, not as old as Grandma Miller, but older. And he's like, I'm out of ideas. If you guys can help me, that'd be great. And my dad's like, what's up? And he's like, there's a baby skunk in the window well over here. And he, you know, the basement sunken windows and then the window well, you know, got its like then ground level. Does this make sense to you? You're a city boy. I don't know.
It makes no sense, but I can visualize.
All right, there's a hole. The ground runs up to the house.
Okay, I get it.
Then
I
there's a
understand
hole
that I
and a
don't
window.
understand, but it's okay, Greg.
You walk over there, you look in, little baby skunk down there. And we can't figure out how to get out this little baby skunk. And then I remember the stupid flea market thing. And we went and got it. Mom reached down there with the thing, put him on the ground.
Really?
Little baby skunk ran away, happy.
Oh my God.
Probably got killed because I don't know what a baby skunk's gonna do. Where's he gonna run? Where's he not gonna run? He doesn't know his way home.
If I'm not
Unless you claw
mistaken,
them.
the baby skunks have the most potent venom.
Now you want another? Here's a final one.
We
Then
don't.
we'll get out.
You
We'll
keep
get
saying you want another one, and no one out there alive wants another one.
It's a short one. It's a short one.
I mean, that was a terrible story.
That's even a story.
You just told a story how your mom used a claw you got at the flea market to like, save a baby squirrel from a fucking window well.
skunk.
A skunk, I'm sorry, a baby skunk.
You're confusing when the raccoon was eating
Yeah,
all the baby
right.
squirrels.
That's another great story.
Another
Your mom
great story.
interfering with nature.
This one's even better because I'm a direct participant, and we'll end on this one. All right?
Okay.
We're out there. I don't know what the fuck parents are doing. Putting stuff in the garden. Dad's mowing the lawn. It don't matter. We're all chilling out, and I notice a little chipmunk. You ain't big, Tim. If I'm lying, I'm dying. This motherfucker's running around out there, and he runs into a gutter. And like we had like long gutters, right? What you call it? So your gutters are up here, and then you have the part that comes down, and then the other
Part of the rain gutter, yeah.
Okay, so we have the part of the rain gutter that instead of letting the water just sit there and shit all over the water, it's leading it out to somewhere. I don't know. Part of it's a giant
How about
irrigation plant.
the sidewalk ditches?
Exactly. Yeah. Let me tell you a future story about when I had a Batman Returns boat, and I was out there playing in the ditch during the rain. I guess that's the story.
Stories are getting worse. They're getting worse.
This chipmunk runs into the fucking thing, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna catch a goddamn chipmunk today. What am I gonna do with it? Who knows? Don't matter. I'm a kid.
Turn it into a top 40
So I
recording
grabbed garden gloves, put them on, and I ran over there, and then I turned the gutter up real quick, right? So his entry point was now shoved into the ground. And I have the other part of the gutter up here, and I'm holding it, holes up here. And I'm like, Mom and Dad. I yell, Mom and Dad. And like, what's up, Bugs? And I'm like, I got a chipmunk trapped in here. And like, what are you gonna do with it? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking. I look over, and the chipmunk has come out the top and is literally just looking at me like this. And I go, Wah! Throw the gutter, run away. That's the end of the story. He didn't bite me.
Why did you rip this gutter off of the house
when
with
you
your
see a
fucking
chance,
bear-like
when you
strength?
see a chance to trap a chipmunk, what do? You do it.
Let it go.
You ever seen Chip and Dale?
Yeah,
Don't
Rescue
tell me you don't
Rangers.
want one of those.
I did want one of those.
Yeah.
It's true. You're right. I stand corrected.